Hey y'all, I'm Terran and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about some mom hacks that I wish I would have known earlier. So let's just dive right in. First tip is going to be pack the car the night before. I'm talking anything. We're talking diaper bag, toys, water bottles, anything that you may need that you can pack that is non-perishable that will make your day successful tomorrow. Pack it the night before. I don't know about you guys, but one of the hardest things about being a mom is getting out of the freaking door. There is somehow always this crazy catastrophe happening right before I need to be somewhere and I need to be there on time. I swear that my daughter acts way better whenever she knows that we're running late. So one trick that has saved me so many times is going to be packing the car the night before. Okay, so my second tip is going to be wake up early. I know sometimes this can seem like a pain, but once you start doing it, it is going to be your favorite part of the day. I have to. I mean, when I tell you have to, it's a must for me to wake up at least an hour earlier than when I know my daughter wakes up. So I know that she typically wakes up between 7 and 7:30. So that means if I can get up at 6 a.m., number one, pray and have that special time between me and God. And then number two, just be slow and have a morning of silence. It's so refreshing to start my day this way. I love just like that time between me and God and that time with myself that I can just be free. Now, I am a woman of faith, and so it is biblical for you in Proverbs 31, a Proverbs 31 woman, she wakes up early. She wakes up before her entire family and makes sure that everybody has food to eat. So I just want to throw that out there that like these simple verses in the Bible, they give us the blueprint. I mean, that hour before my daughter wakes up. Okay, so tip number 3 for me is ask for help and take the help. This one is especially for my single moms. I know sometimes as a single mom, you're very prideful and you hate that you have to ask for so much help or that you need so much help. But just remember that kids are a blessing. And so the people in your life who really love you, the people in your life that you really trust, those are the people who are going to have your back. Sometimes you are gonna need that break. Sometimes you do need help and you have to go to work. Sometimes, we don't have as single moms the opportunity to just like take off work. Sometimes we have to make that money in order for us to take that, to make the bills. So I just want for people to build your community around you. For those of you who don't have support with your family members, maybe there is a community of single moms that you can join. Look on Facebook or maybe in your neighborhood that you can lean on people for help. This is something that I have had to check my ego with, because you don't want to, you're already the single mom. It's already like, oh, why can't their dad watch them? But a lot of times that's just your thought. That's not necessarily that outside person looking in's thought. Maybe they're really happy to help you, especially like those elderly people in your life. Like my grandma has helped me so much since she retired, and it literally brings her joy because kids are a gift from God. And if you are raising your child right, they are going to be a gift. They are going to give this spirit and this energy that people need to just have a boost of serotonin in their life. So don't look at it negatively. Look at it in the positive, like, wow, my child is a gift to somebody. They are sharing love. And somebody, especially elders, we lack so much A, common sense, and B, just learning of wisdom, because people aren't spending as much time with their elders. And I just think it's a beautiful thing. Me and my grandma have bonded so much more since I've had a baby, not just because she helps me out, but because of this time that we're spending together. I'm learning stories and I'm learning things about her that are so beautiful. The same thing with my daughter's grandma. Although, you know, me and her dad aren't together anymore, his family has been extremely helpful and a big blessing. And just the conversations that we've had in exchange have been such a blessing to me. I've learned so much from just older women who have just been through it. And so if I just want to challenge you that instead of thinking like, oh my God, I don't want anybody watching my kid, or I don't want anybody thinking that that I'm pawning off my kid, the people who genuinely love you and who genuinely care about you and your child, they are going to be happy to help you. And if they're not, on to the next. That's okay. You, as you grow in your faith and as you grow as a mom, you will grow a discerning heart. The more you get in your word, the more that you pray, you'll know who can watch your kid and who can't watch your kid. And once you learn your village, keep it. Keep your village close and return the favors. So I just want to challenge you guys to ask for help, take the help, and then just return the favor. So the fourth tip that I want to talk about is having a very strict reset day. And the fact of the matter is, our house is not going to be clean 100% of the time, all the time. It's never going to look perfect. It's never going to look like a showroom, because our kids live here. We're raising our family here. Our home is a home. Now, don't get me wrong. I think cleanliness is next to godliness, but don't waste your life away. Don't stress yourself out trying to keep up with every single detail of the house. I'm not saying don't pick up after yourself, because I do think you need to pick up a little bit every day, but having a strict reset day where you know you're spending 2 good hours, and I'm saying 2 good hours, maybe even 3 depending on the size of your home, but 2 good hours cleaning every single week, and don't miss it. Like, don't blow it off. One of the things about discipline is you discipline yourself to also be lazy. So it's like, how many times are you going to say, oh, I'm going to do it later. Oh, I'm going to do it later, before it's blown off for 3 weeks in a row and that laundry has piled up for 3 weeks. So if you have a strict reset day, you know at this time you are going to clean. And I love to do this right after my daughter has fallen asleep on Tuesdays. I don't know, Tuesday's just the day that I choose. It's the day that I feel like I can get things done. But on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock, from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, I clean my house. And to make this a little more fun for me, I like to listen to my podcast or listen to my YouTube videos with my AirPods. And something that I know is going to be a long show or a long podcast, this is what I motivate myself to do while I'm cleaning. So it's like I'm getting entertained, or I'm getting that knowledge that I'm longing for, also while cleaning my house. I feel like 2 hours lets me do the floors. It lets me puff the pillows, just like. Now, I do not do my laundry on this day. I do my laundries on Fridays. The reason why I do this is because I love to watch Power. And if I do my laundry on Fridays, I fold while I'm watching Power or catching up on any of my shows. I don't really have the time to watch TV during the week. So on Friday nights, this is when I do my laundry. It's like my personal thing. I think that's a really cool tip to just make something a little bit funner, is if you do something that you actually want to do while you're doing the task, it's gonna make that habit so much easier and you actually look forward to it. Number 5 is having a very strict bedtime routine. I am going to link the bedtime routine that I use in the description below, but this is probably my number one thing that I feel in my soul that every single mom should do. I know a lot of people who bedtime is like the worst time of the day. They're fighting their kids are fighting sleep. And I think that kids are creatures of habit. And so the faster that you can develop this habit, the better it's going to be. If your kids don't sleep in their own beds or don't have a strict bedtime and they don't have a strict bedtime routine, this is probably going to take you at the minimum 14 days, if not 21. If you've done it for 21 days straight, maybe the bedtime routine doesn't work for you and you need to switch it up. But it's going to take you a month to get this bedtime routine down packed and get your kid on board. When I tell you that bedtime is probably me and my daughter's favorite time, because we do it very ceremonial. We have a rhyme to our reason. This is our bonding time. She's been at school all day. I've been at work all day. I've been on my phone. She's been watching TV or been playing with her dolls and not really paying any attention to what I have going on. So this bedtime routine, it just brings the both of us joy. We're reading together. We're doing bath time. I'm doing her hair. For a mother-daughter, I think that like the time that you're doing your daughter's hair is very ceremonial. I think it's memories. We always sing at nighttime. I still rock her to sleep. She is 2.5, but I will rock her until the day that she doesn't let me rock her, because this is when we're getting all of the things. I use lavender in her bath and lavender lotion. That's the smell that's calming. I love to rock her and sing to her. Me and my dad had a very special relationship with music, and my dad passed away back in 2020. And so this is a time for me to pass on my heritage, pass on my faith. We sing songs from church growing up. We sing songs that me and my dad sung together. Just the music portion of things, not only is it soothing, but it's also very just special. And so I think the more that you develop that relationship with bedtime to where it's not a thing where it's fighting, but I'm actually like able to rock her and rub her head and rub her little back and just give her that emotional and physical connection between parent and child, I think it's just so beautiful. So again, with this tip, it's a mindset switch. Instead of dreading bedtime and your kid dreading bedtime, you can teach your kid and teach yourself to love this time of the day. Make it fun, make it interactive, and don't make it daunting. I have been reading to my daughter and singing to my daughter every single night since the day that she was born. And I know this sounds like, oh my God, no you didn't. Like, yes, I did. The only time she hasn't been read to or sang to is if she spent the night with one of her grandparents or like my sister or something and they just didn't do it. But like, that's just something that once you develop a habit, it becomes a discipline, and then it becomes a desire. And that desire, I know for sure that when my daughter gets to have her own daughter or her own son, oh man, I'm gonna get emotional, that the bedtime routine is just gonna be something that she really enjoyed and loved from her childhood. So let's make the bedtime routine a must. Let's make it a priority. Let's have a strict bedtime routine so that you have your special time to yourself and your kid is getting the sleep that they need. Sleep is so important, especially for tiny children. Whenever I've gotten my daughter to bed late, it affects her behavior tremendously the next day. She had a biting problem, still kind of has a biting problem, and every single time that she bites, it's because I didn't get her down in the appropriate amount of time. So just a strict bedtime routine. If you want more details about our bedtime routine, be sure to look in the description box to find the bedtime routine that I have been doing with my daughter since she was, I think, 6 months. 6 months is when we started this, and she's 2.5 now, and she has slept basically 7:30 to 7:30 or 7 to 7 since she was between 6 and 8 months. Okay, so another hack that I want to tell you is put your freaking phone down. This is going to change your life when you're with your kids. A lot of times I find myself getting most frustrated with her when she's bothering me and wanting my attention while my head's down scrolling on my phone. And it's like, honestly, why am I getting so upset with her? She's 2 and she wants attention. I'm her mother and I need to give it to her. She deserves that attention. I don't want to be so lost in my phone and scrolling in my phone that I miss those special moments. And putting my phone down and going outside with her, or putting my phone down and just playing baby dolls, or even just watching a movie with your kid, this is going to give them that like undivided attention that they deserve, and that will also fulfill them so that they won't have to go looking elsewhere. I am so guilty of being like locked into my phone, locked into my computer if I'm working, and not giving her the time that she deserves. And I have found that once I pick her up from daycare, I put my phone on do not disturb. And I try very hard not to scroll or get on social media or anything during that time, because we're playing together, we're cooking dinner, we're eating dinner together, and like actually interacting during dinner, not just like shoving our faces and watching TV. I mean, we're actually getting that quality time. And this in itself makes the behavior so much better. The crying, cut down. The tantrums, cut down. And I had to check myself, because I'm like, dang, is my daughter bad? No, your daughter's not bad, girl. You're not paying attention to her. You're not showing her the attention that she needs and giving her what she needs. 9 times out of 10, if you pay attention, you know exactly what your kid needs. And a lot of us are so glued to our phone and glued to our own situations that we are not enjoying the moment with our kid. And it goes by so freaking fast that we need to put our devices down and check in with our kids. So the very last tip for this video is to give yourself grace. There is no parent on the planet that's perfect. There are so many times where we're just learning along with our kid. I think the important part is that we're actually learning and we actually apply those things. But you're gonna make a mistake. You're gonna do something that's like not your favorite, or maybe even not your kid's favorite. And that's okay, as long as you're learning and growing from this. I think giving yourself grace is so important, because Jesus gives us grace. So if he thinks we deserve grace, then who are we to not give his child what they deserve? And so I think it's just a beautiful thing to be able to reflect on yourself and not beat yourself up and move on. A lot of us are single moms, and it's really, really hard. And no matter what the circumstance was to put you in the position that you're in, you're here now and you've got to make the best out of it. So beating yourself up or making yourself depressed within your situation isn't going to help you, and it's not going to help your kid. You have to find a different coping mechanism other than self-destruction. And so I just want you to give yourself grace, pick your head up, say a prayer, and ask God to carry you through, because he's already made the promise that he will. I want to not just speak to single moms, because a lot of us are single moms that are married. I know that a lot of people feel very alone even in their marriages. So just know that if you give yourself grace and also come to an understanding with God and within yourself, everything is gonna be all right. In the famous words of Bob Marley, every little thing is gonna be all right. Keep to your faith, give yourself grace. You are a good mom, because if you're watching this video right now, you're probably wanting some tips on how to be a good mom. Just because you came here already puts you ahead of the game, because you're trying. There's so many resources out there. And so give yourself grace, educate yourself, and yeah, just be nice to yourself, and it's gonna be okay. It always is. It always will be. Even in the midst of turmoil, we can find peace within ourselves and within our God. All right, y'all, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I am new to YouTube, and I would love your support in creating more tips and tricks for moms on my channel. We're going to talk about faith, motherhood, entrepreneurship, life hacks, anything lifestyle. I don't know. I don't have a niche yet, but that's okay. I'm just going to talk about what God has called me to talk about that day. So if you want to be a part of this glow up, level up motherhood journey, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to talking to y'all later.